Summer means more fun, more sun.
Central Wellington's best music. The Grand at 101.
You're listening to SwapTalk on a lovely Tuesday night. As we get to the end of our program. But before we go, I've got a wonderful guest here, and we're going to get to this. Love letters to the trees. I know you're wondering, where can I write those letters? And
Jaimie can tell you.
Jaimie's going to tell you. Hi, Jaimie. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
We're okay. You're with Neighbourwoods. We've all become very aware of that organization. We were talking just off mic a little bit that many people in the community may have seen this because I think you're wearing, was it bright yellow, orange outfits out there, and you come and stand in front of our property with a pan in hand, and we say, "What are you doing? Are you trying to cut my tree down?" But that's just the opposite. So what are you folks doing?
Yeah, good question. A lot of people get confused when they see us out on their property. And it's so nice to see how concerned homeowners are because they think we're going to cut their tree down. And like you said, we're doing the opposite. We're just collecting information for the township so the township can better understand the health and diversity and size of our urban forest so they can better manage it and take care of it. So we're collecting information about the tree species, height, size. We look at 31 different health characteristics and mark down the most important things that the township should know. And we've been doing this for 13 years, which is crazy.
Wow. Have we gotten ahead of, or are we close to the ash borer problem?
The ash borer problem continues to, we continue to lose our trees to them. And, the biggest thing that we've learned is that we need to be planting for diversity. And I think Matt Allen, the urban forest manager, is doing a good job of that. This is the reason we do with the inventory, is to make sure we know what we have. So if something like the ash borer comes about, we don't lose so many trees in one area because, we'll have, hopefully 5 different species or whatever it is on one street.
Because it's attacks, is it the elm tree? Is that what it's after?
Well,
Mainly?
So there's the emerald ash borer, which affects, they're like bugs that affect ash trees.
Oh, okay.
And then there's the Dutch elm disease.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess the reason they grew very well, so they could populate, a lot of area. Hence, we end up with not such a diversity of forest, but we have a lot of single kinds of trees.
Exactly. Yeah. So, we continue just to go out and see what we have in our urban forest and make sure it stays healthy.
Now, you say urban forest, you're talking about the streets and the parks and all of that?
Yeah, that's just a fancy word, for we want to create kind of a forest in our town, right? So we have trees on every street. So that's just the word that we would use. Yeah.
Jaimie, how many different varieties of trees would we have here in Center Wellington, like Ferguson, Elora, and the surrounding area?
Ooh, it may not be a good question for me. Matt would know.
A large number, though, right? There's.
Oh, yeah. There's a ton. I mean, we definitely, as someone who inventories all the time, you see a ton of different stuff. And I feel like every time I go out, I see a new species where I'm like, where did this come from? I had to take pictures and go look it up. And I thought I've seen everything, but I guess not.
And these are not only on public property, but on people's lawns, like on private property.
Right. So we actually only inventory on public property now since last year that we partnered with the township. But we used to, up until 2020, we used to also inventory on private lots. But some homeowners, they want to know what's in their backyards too. So if they see us on the streets, they might invite us back and just say, can you look at a tree? I'm stumped. I don't know what it is. So we try to help them out.
Yeah, that's really handy, because then you'd have to have one of these arborists come in and do that work for you.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? We always do recommend having an arborist come in when they ask, I have this issue with my tree, or do you think it needs pruning? Because, in the end, we're what we call citizen scientists. We're trained summer staff and dedicated volunteers, but we observe the trees and write down what we see. But in terms of writing a prescription for the tree, telling homeowners what to do, we always recommend hiring an arborist for sure.
Well, I guess you'll never stump an arborist, right? So tell me a little bit about the love letters to the trees. Where did that get started? And it looks like it's a contest.
Yeah, so Tony Ellis, who runs the Environment Center, she was so excited about this idea that came out of Melbourne, Australia, where citizens would write a physical love letter and attach it onto a tree because all the trees are numbered. So she, Tony, she's always so positive, and she wants to kind of share the benefits of trees. And we thought that, throughout the pandemic, everyone has been getting outside more and, really appreciating what we have around us. So we just wanted to give people a way to share what they admire about trees. So we created these postcards that they kind of look like these old-fashioned, red and blue mail cards that you used to get, way back when.
Yeah.
And so you could pick one up, write a love letter, or draw a picture, or compose a poem, and every 2 weeks you'll be entered into a random draw to win one of our prizes from Carger Gallery, Magic Pebble Books, or Brighten Up Toys. And we'll hang the finished products in store windows or in art center trees. And so it's very exciting, and people of all ages are welcome to submit. If you can't get to a drop-off location in person, then you can submit on social media.
I was going to ask you, where are they dropping them off? Are there...
Yeah. So you can pick them up and drop them off at the Allura Art Center, Magic Pebble Books, and Brighten Up Toys.
Well, then, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Be able to, send that in, and there's no cost to do this, Jaimie?
No cost at all.
Yeah, well, that works out well. So I know Rob's got his pen all ready to go, so we'll have to, have to head over.
Red.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's a flower.
We actually at the Allura Center for the Arts, but you were closed. So
Yeah,
we
you were
couldn't
closed.
pick one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
there you go.
Don't tell her what we were doing. It sounds like we were stalking the place or something. We weren't. We were being very good people. So, if they want more information, where can they go?
Yeah, for sure. They can find us on social media at Allura Environment Center, or they can find us on the website, alluraenvironmentcenter.ca.
Oh, excellent. As I say, we love... We love Tony, our tree lady, we like to call her, and what you folks have been doing down there. And it's as you say, I wouldn't have said that the inventory has been going on that long, but it's great that it has because we're all benefiting from the information that you folks are gathering.
No, well, I appreciate it. I'm glad you're seeing some value in it. That's really glad.
We certainly are. Well, Jaimie, thank you very much for your time.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me.
All righty. That's Jaimie McDonald. She's with Neighbourwoods. She is at the Environmental Center, and they're talking about, well, the biggest thing that you want to take away from this is writing a letter or a poem to a tree. Pick one. You don't have to be close to it. You don't have to really know it.
Pick a whole forest if you want.
Pick a whole forest.
Yeah.
It could be something you're really friendly with, or you're just kind of walking by. You've always said, hey, I'd like to write that guy a letter, because there are guys and girls in the tree world.
Okay, for sure, yeah.
And you can do that. And prizes are to be had. So check out their website, environmentcenter.ca. That about wraps it up for us here one more time on SwapTalk. But you know what? Come on back next Tuesday night, because McKim and I are going to be here.
Cool as your air conditioning does.
Your summer station.
The Grand at 101.